All day long, we've had the pleasure of talking to former Chicago Police Superintendent Garry McCarthy, who has lots of experience managing security for big events. You have President Biden in town, former Presidents Obama and Clinton in town this week. Does that put additional strain on the security operations?
To a degree. It's more Secret Service, their job. We have to get the motorcades through, which is a traffic issue, but we handle that. Residents don't like that. Again, they get cut off from going to where they want to go. But we're primarily in the streets. Secret Service has the rest of that.
Okay. When people are, thinking about events like this, I would think for you, something similar was your time managing NATO, when NATO was here in 2012. Was there something that you learned from that experience that CPD took from it and are now, using that in their plan when it comes to big events like this, or any big lessons learned?
We did a critique of it afterwards, and the biggest lesson learned was the non-confrontation. By coming out in the Chicago uniform rather than riot gear, right? And I said, if you want to riot, let's come out in riot gear, but we don't want that. The use of the bicycles as a strategy to keep the protesters away from the windows and at the same time off pedestrian ways.
Which we're seeing so much today. Yeah.
Right, and then the other thing was extracting the people who were causing the problems from the crowd rather than just wading into the crowd with horses and tear gas and nightsticks flying. That's not the way to do things. Those were the big lessons, and most importantly, leadership. And you asked about that before. Are some officers going to be a little bit nervous? Yeah, of course they are. But leadership will calm that down. So I'm expecting that. The
big demonstration today, the coalition to march on the DNC, is now on the move. They were in Union Park, and now they're on the move. That's got to be a bigger challenge when protesters are on the move rather than in one place.
That's exactly right. And what should be happening right now is our communications are critical. We have pod cameras, as everybody knows. We have officers on the street walking with them and with their bikes.
They are there.
And at the same time, we're watching where they're going and making sure that they're staying to the route. If they don't stay on the route, then we're just going to go with them anyway. But we have to know that. And that's the beauty of the bicycles, where they can get in front when we see that something's not making a turn when it should make a turn and things like that.
So there's a group at the Public Safety Building looking at all these
I presume that's where it is. Yeah. We call it CPIC, which I don't remember what it stands for right now.
That's fine.
But it allows them to monitor and look at these cameras.
Correct.
The pictures from these cameras.
It was critical, and there was a guy named Spiros who coordinated all of that. He had a calm voice in the middle of chaos. It was wonderful.
That's key. Yeah. I'd like to ask about the level of communication that you have with groups like this. This coalition is many different organizations coming together, but we've heard from some of the leaders. There were a lot of pre-planning as to what this route was going to be, and communication with the local demonstrators. I'm presuming they have a decent relationship with CPD. That's valuable, right? Because you're looking for people, you're looking to have those local connections to hopefully stem any local, agitators.
I don't recall having a good relationship with the people who were involved in this. Okay. Generally, it was our counsel, our lawyer, who was involved in the negotiations along with the city.
Okay.
I personally never met with any of them.
Right.
We didn't really deal with them. They didn't want to deal with us.
I see.
And I'll talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime. I said that I said that the whole time during my tenure here.
Sure.
Some people don't want to talk to us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to talk to you.
It's true. And we know, even if they're not talking to you, you're doing the job of protecting them and protecting everybody in the city. CPD does.
And I'm going to say it again. I respect the First Amendment right to free speech, even if I don't agree with your message. I cringe when I see an American flag burning. I was raised a lot differently, but I respect the right that people have to do things like that, unfortunately.
Former Police Superintendent Garry McCarthy, thanks so much. We'll see you later.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us here on CBS News Chicago.
We'll continue our live coverage of the Democratic National Convention all day here on our stream, and we'll see you back at 4 o'clock for our afternoon newscast.